Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Philippa-Lee, the spiritual tourist. We're doing free readings tonight and I'm a clairvoyant medium. I don't do private readings, so I will be recommending you to various other readers that are fabulous for private readings, but I do this every week. So we're waiting for people to come on. There we go. Hi Krista. I've got you on my list. I sort of ended up with a few people that I think will come on tonight. You were one, Krista. I think you shared it as well, so please share. Please share out there. Hi Marie. You're another one that was on my list here. Marie had a reading last week and it was very interrupted. And I want to do a little bit more for Marie tonight. But I want to introduce you first. Here's my husband, Boogs, B-O-O-G-S. Andrew as well, but he doesn't really like his name. Then we've got Marley. I don't know if you can see her properly. Long sort of thing about Boog's nickname, but it's short for Boogan. And then he's married an Australian, so he can't call himself the full nickname anymore. Hi Lisa. Getting a little bit warm now. You've all turned up. You see I look a little bit red. It's because I don't have makeup on. I thought I'll go somewhat female nude today. So I end up getting 10 minutes of sun and I go a bit red. So a good one being in Australia. Hi Paula. Haven't talked to Paula in ages. I think I've read for most people coming online and we're going to have a bit of a look-see. I had Brian in the mix as well. I ended up last week looking for Renee Daly because she'd come on heaps, like 6 months now, to ask about some rings, and I had a look for her and just did it on the comments because I was feeling like it that day. And there were some great validators for Renee. So I'm not promising that I'll do comments, but look, you know, if it gets to the point where we're a couple more weeks in and I haven't got to, look, I will accommodate a little bit and do things when I feel like it. So that was really helpful, I think, for her. Her grandma or nan came through and I saw a lot of elephants around her. So if you're watching this, Renee, or you come on later, I definitely believe what we see is coming towards us, or the future. It's definitely a possibility or it wouldn't be there. Quite often people ask a question and if there's nothing there, look, it's generally going to be, it's possibly not what you think it is, or it can't answer you. Hard to explain. It's not quite like Google. Okay, so my husband, Boogs, is writing down all the questions. I just wanted to, I'll get into it in a sec, just wanted to tell you a little bit about what we're doing upcoming. We've got a lot of YouTube videos up at The Spiritual Tourist. You can find everything from our website, which is thespiritualtourist.com.au. Bit easier to spell than my name, but I will be changing it to my name, but then I'll always link The Spiritual Tourist there. I'm also doing a book, which is actually, ultimately, I'm going to call it Defining the Voices Within. It's a bit about fate, it's a bit about everything, it's a bit about the afterlife. So I was going to call it Chasing Fate, but it is much more than that. And do little bits and pieces about everything, okay? And what I've seen. I'm not all knowing. I've started a little group that's a private group and I'm noticing a lot of people commenting and it's slightly different. Everyone's a little bit different. I think there's possibly 7 billion ways to the same place, which is perhaps, I don't know, trust in the self, trust in our intuition is very important. So welcome to all those coming online now. Sarah's on. You shared last week as well. Look, I'll let hubby do the list, but I'll try to get to you, Sarah, tonight as well. So this is on every week at 7 p.m. and on the Sunday night, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, but ultimately it's available worldwide. I will eventually put in an American spot, but hi Nikki, but I won't be doing that for some months because it's a bit early in the morning Saturday for them. We get quite a few Americans look at us. And I'm just reading Nikki's comment. Oh, nice. So, Nikki, you can't stay this time. Look, come another time. I'll definitely read for you, Nikki. Nikki referred us to the DeWitt family, and that was incredible from last week. I've done, see you, Paula. Nice that you popped in. So, Nikki, yeah, she referred us to, I had a dream and posted it, and she found the people. She knew the people it was about. So that was really fabulous. Proof of the afterlife. And look, I do this, it's not about me, it's about the afterlife. I've found it to be true and I definitely am of the mind that this is going to help anybody. I know I used to be terrified of death, terrified of my future. That's probably why I like to look at it and focus on my dreams and figure out what was coming toward me so I could ultimately try and change it. But love's the changer. Whether we can see it or not, you walking into a situation, you've probably got a sense of it. It might be something at work or at home and you can feel a bit of tension, or you logically know that there's something afoot and there's going to be a conversation. Send the conversation love. Send the person love. There's an old Tibetan technique, which is, I think from memory, I read it a long time ago. I think it's the Book of the Living and Dying by Rinpoche. Somebody, sorry about that, a long time ago, back in the days of the real books, as it were, when we didn't have internet. And it's to visualize someone you love. So just say I'm talking to my boss and I'm having a bad problem, I'll visualize my son's face in front of them and how I would talk to my son instead. And that can actually change your future. So even when I'm reading your future sitting here today, and we'll look at that a little bit more tonight, I hope, because it's more sort of been the afterlife, which is lovely. We'll do a bit of a mix tonight. I think ultimately that, look, we're influencing it at least. We're not in control, but we're influencing. And one last thing before I begin, I did do a radio prediction about Justin Bieber. Look, some of you who know me know I have a entertainer's crush, not a I love you crush, but I just love his life force. I love a lot of his songs and his message out there of loving the world and loving people. And I've always predicted for years him being single and a bit messy and this and that and the other. And they asked me a few months ago, and I finally saw this girl, and blonde, and someone who I hadn't seen before, so new to the scene as it were for me. I don't know how out of touch I am. But I did read the other day by accident that he's apparently with Alec Baldwin's daughter, who's a blonde. So there we go. Anyway, another prediction come true. So it is magnetised. So when I talk of your future there, look, if any negative comes up, we look at ways that you can perhaps affect positive change to that. I'm not a yes reader. I'm not someone who'll tell you what you want to hear. I tell you the truth of what I see, which is what I'd rather do, be accurate than get it wrong and just please you in the now. That's not fair. So let's have a look here. All right, I don't see Brian on. Hi, everybody. All right, so Denise Green. All right, I'm going to look for you, Denise. I'm just going to look in order, okay, at this point. So Denise Green. And then if you're still on at the end, Krista, I'll ask you, and I'm going to have a bit of a look. Krista had some great validations in the past.
Can you tear the page out real quick?
What's that?
Can you tear that page out?
Oh, sure. Got to give the page back. Got more questions. Hang on a sec. It's a little bit slower the live to any sort of edited video you've seen. Whenever I edit videos, I always put them in chronological order. I don't change anything. I just chop out the boring bits like this. All right, so all right, so it's do you see a move for us? Okay, all right, so Denise, do you see a move for us? So this is a future question. We didn't really get any last time, so this is interesting. Okay, let's have a look here. What I do is clear my mind. I might just put you guys down a little bit because you're sort of chopping off my head there for you. I'll just get this all correct. That's a bit better. Alright, so what I do is still my mind and just have a look for you, Denise. As you know, as anyone who's seen me read or had a reading from me before, you're going to get more than what you asked for. So I see a few different things. Look, I see land around you at the moment. I'm not sure if you actually had any problem with rain. So I think you're out near Corindai where it's been Tamworth and drought and things like that. But have you had some rain lately? I'd ask you, Denise, okay, because what I like to do is sort of just have a look wherever I'm led, and quite often it can be in the now. I'm not seeing massive flooding or anything terrible, but I'm seeing some wet ground or something to do with the ground being wet, okay? This could be something that's affecting either the house that you're in or, look, I'm seeing an owned home at the moment. Sometimes it can be a little bit private, you know, but I'm not getting your address here, so it's not like, you know, everyone will know exactly what's going on. But I'm seeing you in an owned home at the moment, so I'm seeing perhaps, I'm not sure if you've looked at putting it on the market or what's happening with that, but I'm not sure if there's maybe a little bit of a problem selling, okay? So I just ask you to put that in context for us. Sometimes if it's not your own property, it will be something else. Okay, So you've had a little bit of water, but not a lot. Look, that to me would tell me a little bit more rain, which is maybe a good thing. Look, have you got a slope on the backyard where you're at? Okay, look, I'm thinking this is where you're at because it's really around you in the now, because I'm actually feeling a little bit of delay on the move as an ultimate answer, but I want to look at why. Okay, look at the things you can shift. Because I'm feeling resistance from other family members. There's 2 males who are resisting, I'm feeling. So if you can validate who they are. I'm not really sure who they are. Possibly one's a partner. Okay. I met Denise at a show. Yeah, so you're at Willow Tree, which is near sort of Tamworth, if you've heard of that, in New South Wales, Australia. And I did a show out there, gosh, early in the year, about 6 months ago, I think now. So I met Denise at the show. Let's have a look what else is there. Just validate for us in regard to having a slope on the ground there, okay, Denise? It's grass and it's sloped and there's a bit of water at the bottom. Okay, which looks to me like it's been raining, okay? It can be the little things that could actually end up mattering later, or, look, one time a lady called Alison, who I've read quite often, and I've said this online because it was quite astounding, I saw her next work experience, and it was her sitting in an office with all the wires hanging out of the walls, and that did end up happening to her by chance. A little while later, another girl asked me about love, and I saw just one image of her putting her, someone putting her shoe on for her. Okay. Yeah, so your husband, all right. Anyway, so Sarah, yeah, I'm just sort of filling in the gaps while there's a lag, okay, so telling you little stories along the way. But yeah, so Sarah validated for us that the moment of the new love putting the shoe on her foot was actually what happened, because she'd hurt her knee, unfortunately, since the reading. So there's no slope there. All right, I'm going to keep going. This could be a past loved one. Is there an older male to you who's passed, Denise? I'm not sure what came up for you at the show, or if you were read. It's like medium-asia, John Edward calls it. I tend to tune in and then I might remember in this sort of context, but not a stage show. Too many at a stage show to remember. So your husband, you're validating there, is umming and ahhing. Okay, about the move. So there's still a lot of free will and choice in this conversation with you, Denise. I do see the going through the house that you're at and redoing some things possibly. Okay, look, this isn't going to make very much sense if you rent though. So if you can just validate for us if you rent, or, you know, maybe partially own, you might own 1% and the bank owns the rest, but you know the difference where you can do stuff to your house or not. Because I'm seeing that ability to do stuff. Look, I'm not going to assume this isn't your new place. When you're looking at new places, just be careful of wet. Be careful of a bit of too much wet at the back of the yard. It could be mosquitoes, things like that. I don't see it being a structural problem for the house though. Okay, so my answer to you ultimately is a little bit of delay. I'll stay with you for another little while, Denise, but if you can just validate those couple of things and I'll see what else comes through. I'm going to go quite quickly through the readings tonight, and then I will interact back and forward a little bit, but I won't be letting them interrupt. Okay, so you didn't get a reading in Corindi. Well, look, this is great validation because I don't really know anything about you, even though I would have forgotten because it was a stage show situation. So yes, you own your own home. Okay, so look, ultimately there's some bits and pieces. I'm seeing that you'd probably, look, this is even logical, but I'm no financial person, but I'm saying probably you're going to want to sell your house, okay, before you look at exactly what you want to do. I keep saying Queensland, so I'm not sure if you want to go really far north or if you've got relatives there or you've just thought about it, or that's even a holiday. Don't rule out a holiday in the meantime. So if you can place north for me or Queensland, okay, I keep seeing up north. Look, you might have thought of somewhere totally different. It could even be like, I don't know, Coffs Harbour or a bit south. It's Queenslandy looking, okay. It's a nice little kitschy sort of town, and what I mean by kitschy probably isn't the traditional meaning. Cute little town on the ocean. Okay, it's got cliffs, it's got bits near the beach down below. It seems to be surrounded by 2 cliffs on either side, okay? And then it's got its own little sort of village. Look, it looks beautiful to me. So if you can relate to that. Oh, okay, so you want to go Goonellabah. There we go. It's a very hard name to say, Goonellabah. That's Lismore, New South Wales. So that's sort of near Coffs. Okay. Don't rule out the ocean side. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm being led north and then being shown this place. Look, not Coffs, what's it called? The one on the ocean near Lismore? Is it Ballina or I can't remember.
Yeah, Ballina.
I can't remember which one's on the ocean there. But don't rule out that. That's exactly parallel where I'm trying to think. Oh, it's not Coffs where I'm thinking. I'd need a map, but look, I won't take your time. It's exactly across from Lismore to the ocean. Don't rule out that suburb as well. We got Marlian Casino and Ganoulaba we lived at actually when my husband first came out from Australia a few years ago. Ganoulaba is lovely, at least it's on the hill if there's any floods. But yeah, be careful at the new place, I'd say to you. Just look, because you're buying, just make sure you look at the ground, all right, and the maintenance and the things you're going to have to do perhaps into your old age, because I see this move probably... you have family there. So yeah, it was like to do with family and north, and it's a bit hotter, more mosquitoes. Be careful of that damp out in the backyard. And Lismore has flooded twice since. It flooded once when we were there, but we were lucky. We actually moved from Lismore to Ganoulaba. We'd been staying in a place in Lismore temporarily, and then we're up at Ganoulaba the very night the first one came, and then since we moved out, the whole place was flooded. So... look, that makes a lot of sense. Just be careful, okay? I'd say to you, stick to the high areas of Lismore or Ganoulaba. Look, they are a little bit more pricey, unfortunately. But I'd just say you maybe don't risk it if you can't get flood insurance, all right? You're welcome, Denise. So that answers a few little bits and pieces for you. Definitely your free will and choice, Denise, just to finish with you. Definitely you're going to be very happy with that move. I see you happier with the move. Look, ultimately it's not necessarily the place, it's about the people and loving people and all the rest of it, but we still got a right to have our material interests and move and all that sort of stuff. We've come to live life and deal with those things as well, and I see you're very blessed upcoming in regard to that. Look, give yourself, I don't want to put a time limit on this for you, but give yourself months, you know, really to work this out for yourself. And a big yes. Okay, so you grew up in the Northern Rivers. We definitely watch for flood areas. Okay, so having that little bit of information at the beginning that's out of context can be the beautiful validator for you. Big yes on your move, but pushing it. All right, so if you're not feeling energized one day, maybe don't push it that day, but you'll get more energy toward this idea and start cleaning out and all that sort of stuff. Hi, Linda. All right, so thank you so much, Denise. We're going to look at Sarah Mealing. Are you still on, Sarah? I'm going to go with it. Sarah was on last week. She's someone who kept asking me, is MJ the one? I keep saying an older male to you past, Sarah. Oh, we didn't place your older male, Denise. Is your father passed, all right, or a father-in-law? Come back to us, Denise. But with Sarah, I am seeing an older male to you past. Look, in regard to MJ being the one, I'm assuming this is... Hi, Sarah. You're there still? Yay. I'm assuming this is your dad. Okay. It's hard. I've lost my dad. But he's with you in spirit. He wants to give me more information beyond your question, but ultimately what they're saying, and you've also got a nan as well, so is his mother passed as well? All right, I don't see your age. You look a bit young in the little circle there. But is your nan or your grandma passed? It's an older female with him, he's saying. Okay. In regards to MJ, I'd assume you're talking about love, okay, romantic love. Look, what I'm seeing and what they're showing me is that you've got a lot of choice in regards to your question, okay, or in regards to love. So look, if this isn't the MJ one, okay, so your nan, Sarah, so your nan's passed, so that would be the other side, I assume. Look, I wasn't sure who it was. They sort of come at me a bit, but definitely nan there as well, so you look like you're happy about that. Oh yeah, there's more there. There's always more than your question. And they really want to validate they're there for you, Sarah, because it's entirely up to you. There's no should. Look, I actually had a vision of my husband when I was a teenager. And I'm quite a bit older than my husband, and that doesn't make a lot of sense because we have free will and choice, because I saw other potentials with a couple of other long-term partners I had before I met my husband in my 40s. And at the same time, they're like parallels. So it's like you could have three main timelines on your life to do with love and then work. And any which one of them is absolutely okay, if that makes sense. So you're a bit older, okay, Sarah. It's the way of it these days. I think that it doesn't really matter about age so much, or, colour or race or even gender. I think we're just becoming much more open-minded, and people can go with the love that they feel, which is absolutely lovely. And look, I'm saying that there's a good potential with your love. I'm seeing living together. I would ask you if you're already living together. I'm seeing, okay, so you 5 years, yeah, okay, so, but I am seeing living together. I would assume that's already happening. I'm seeing some stairs to do with the outside of a house that you're living at, okay, not yet. So this will be important information for you. This is telling me that, like one time I had a lady ask me about Brad, but then I saw a different guy and totally different description. She ended up with the other one. I'm seeing a yes on this to do with your relationship, Sarah, and I'm seeing the information, so that tells me it's a yes. If you want that, that's what's coming towards you. So there is a potential to live together. There's also a potential to, I'm not sure if this is the place you're at now, but it looks like a house. It's one story. Okay, so it's not attached to anything else. It's got white paint to do with the stairs, okay? So that's quite detailed, to do with the stairs. I'm not sure if this is at the back or the front, but I'm seeing it being like an oblong house, okay? So it's not necessarily a brand new thing and not particularly large. All right, so see if you can just place that house for me, Sarah. That could be to do with your father or... okay, so they've got the white, I'd imagine, being the concrete. They're lighter coloured. Okay, all right. That would tell me probably him moving in, but I'm assuming that interpretation, as they say, can be the devil. But I'm seeing that. It's your dad's house. Oh, wonderful. So it does validate your dad as well. Oh, wow. Wow, that's quite astounding. Because he's with you in spirit. He's not in your business. There's a thing I call the Privacy Act that I used to ask my dad about love in dreams. He passed about 10 years ago, and he'd just sit there, just give me a hug, I don't know. So up to you. And that's what I'm hearing for you. It's entirely up to you. Definitely, I'm seeing you looking at some things that, look, we could all do with it. So I'm not saying that you definitely need this, but consider maybe looking at some Louise Hay mirror work. Just things that make you feel good about yourself. Look, he's perfectly fine with whoever you choose, Sarah. He's in a different space than life. He's seeing a lot more to things. He's, like I said, not all-knowing or in your business too much, but he's aware of you being a strong woman, especially in this day and age, is what he's saying. And it's things that he doesn't necessarily understand. He's in complete approval of your life, Sarah. He loves you so much. He's pushed in to get through, and you've asked, is MJ the one? So it's like, well, there you go. He's hovering around, and then, yeah, so you're validating, you're very strong. So maybe look at what Louise Hay calls inner work, or the inner child stuff. It can be a little bit confronting. I'd recommend that for anybody who's working on relationships and that sort of stuff. And so, look, I see a yes. Not getting told who is the one for you, because it's your choice. There is an opportunity regarding somebody else interested in you that's either going to push your current relationship into that move-in phase, or it's going to have you leave. We'll see what happens. I see that this isn't necessarily going to be an easy road, so I'm officially telling you there will be someone else interested in you. Okay, what you do with that is up to you. I will always say, if a partner's watching or your partner ends up saying this, I'm not saying you're doing this. This is an opportunity coming towards you. Okay? It's someone that you either work with or you know through something else, or someone who's, he becomes single, or they become single. Okay? I never know if sometimes people are into, what gender they're into. I can make mistakes from my own filters, but I'm seeing that your next partner is definitely someone who is, if you take that next partner, is someone that, look, it's about you discovering what you want, okay? So I'm seeing you push for the more of a relationship in that regard, but definitely your dad and your nan coming through. I'm also seeing a little bit of work being done on the house that you're at, so your dad's house that you've validated, who's passed. I'm seeing some carpet, I believe. It's possibly in another sort of, I don't know if this is an out room or some sort of room that isn't as used, because it's a bit dustier than normal. We all get a bit of dust, but it's a little bit more dusty, this room. So I'm seeing that being cleaned out. I'm seeing a few things being done. So there'll be long-term things that you maybe look at with that. I'm also seeing a male to the side of you, so I'm not sure if you have a brother or a brother-in-law type figure, Sarah. So a couple of little bits there for you to validate. And no answer to your actual question, but a lot of other connections and answers for you, which is lovely to bring through for you tonight. And so please share, everybody. Look, the more you share, the more come on. We've got Paul from Ireland. Hi, Paul. We definitely want to access UK and Ireland as well. Look, ask us a question, Paul. I will get to as many people as possible tonight. I'm pretty much going in a little bit of the order they came on, but I do this every week at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which is, I believe, probably Sunday morning for you there, Paul. So if you come on, and just come on at the beginning if I don't get to you, but ask us a question like you'll see with Sarah just asked, is MJ the one, and her dad and Nan came through. So look, you're going to get extra information beyond your question. You may as well ask it. I may not get your question. I might be on the next thing for you, or what wants to push through. So you may as well ask it. So I'm going to go to Krista next. Okay, I just saw you pop up then, but I had said at the beginning that I'd look at Krista. Just have a drink. So a yes on your relationship, Sarah, to finish, but it will be your choice upcoming. Okay, if you had a fight tomorrow and it was all over, I wouldn't believe it. Okay, I'd say no, not over. Okay, so we've got there Krista. Look, Krista is a lovely young, I call them the sisters, her and her sister Bianca, B. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. A couple of bits there for you to validate, maybe even on the comments if you go back and rewatch your reading. Okay, I love to hear anything back. And I definitely, you know, I can't promise everybody I'll do it, but I try to edit up a couple of the vids for people. Okay, so Krista, I'm just going to write down your question. Paul, your dad. Krista and Bianca came to me for a reading some years ago, and it was in person, and I remember quite a bit of things for Krista, which is fine. I could read my mum and still get new things. Some wonderful validations, goss. The people that have come through that have passed, I read her, and not her in particular. I did a couple of bits for you, Krista, last time, but I more read her mum and I think auntie. And the same people, I believe, from the first one came through, and I connected it after I'd left. I just thought, oh my gosh, that's the same young fellow who came through when I first met you two girls. And that was a fellow before his time. I won't out you in public, but wow, that just for me was such proof of the afterlife that, yeah, my gosh. One thing that was interesting about that actually was at the end, Krista asked me about her puppy dog. I hope you don't mind me saying this, it's fairly generic information, not too private. And who'd had an accident, I believe. I couldn't remember what happened now, but I saw, I think, an $800 and something vet bill. But he'd be okay, and that's happened. I think you said even the dollar amount matched. So I'm going to have a look for you, Krista. I'm not medically trained. I'm seeing a little bit of health. I'm seeing you energetic, but just being careful with your energy levels. Okay, I'm seeing some tests upcoming. I'm not going to rule out another child for you. Krista already has a beautiful little girl. Look, I do see the potential. It doesn't mean you have to. Always think to you and your health, and I'm seeing a lovely celebration around you and your partner. I know logically that I think you've just had 30th birthdays and things, but there is another celebration, so I would say this is the potential of another one. I don't know if you thought about it, not hassling you, maybe you're sick of everyone saying it, but I am seeing that. Okay, and let's have a look more. I'm seeing you, look, I know for Krista's business, she does the odd video. I'm seeing a little bit of that, but I'm seeing that actually really increase over summer regardless of what you do online. I know you do the odd competition online. She does a great makeup artistry type thing. You're welcome to share on these comments, Krista, on my page. She does beautiful makeup for weddings and formals and so on. It really, a lot of action over the holidays, so be careful of your energy levels, okay? I'm not sure if your partner, like I said, I'm not health educated at all, but I do like to say whatever I see. Has had any problem with the knee, or if this is your dad, Okay, can you validate for us to do with that? It's not like a disaster or a big deal, but it's something just to keep an eye on if you find that comes up for your partner or your dad. It's someone close in. I'm also seeing conversations with other side of the family, so perhaps your husband's side of the family. I'm seeing you becoming really empowered. Okay, I'm seeing you really happy with your build. Look, I still see with your parents at Christmas, okay? So I do know logically that Krista's staying with her parents at the moment, but I do see you, look, I see 2 stories on your new place. I can't remember logically what came up. Can you validate for us the 2 stories and so on? I'm also seeing a nan to you. Look, you've got a lot on the other side. You've got, there's a name. I'm just going to still my mind. It's a W initial. Something a bit different, Krista. I don't know if it's a Wes or a Wentworth or a... It's a harder name to hear. Not sure about the knee. You've gone back. Okay, so just look, don't worry about the knee. Just be a little bit careful. Whoever maybe turns up with the problem knee, don't, freak out. Just keep an eye on it. Get it checked is all I'd say to you. There may be a bit of wrapping for that. And Krista, you're validating here, going back and forth with 2 stories. I'm like, I see a 2-story, then... Look, I more see a 2-story. I would say to you, if it's any sort of decision in regard to this, go for the love, go for the trust. I do see increase to do with your business, to do with your husband's business. I'm seeing you more relying on your husband's income, but at the same time, I'm seeing him getting a lot of little extra sort of things. So who's William to you? Yeah, it's something I can't quite understand. It could be William. And I kept talking. I'm more clairvoyant than hearing. Okay, you've got clairsentient as well. People who just know stuff. All right, that's a lot of us. It's like I just knew they were lying to me. I just knew. So I'll just grab more things off hubby while you come back to us. Look, it could be William. Who's William to you? This is somebody who's passed telling me this. Okay, so... Did they call him Will? Or is it Will? Because it's like a shortened name, like Wes or... I'm not going to rule out William. Your mum's grandfather. It's not him, it's someone else. It's something, this is like a left field thing you're getting tonight, Krista. So this isn't for anybody else in the room. This is for you. It's Wes. It's W-E-S. Let's not obsess. It could be short for something. I'm not hearing the whole word. Okay, look, it could even be a Wesley or just an unusual name to me, culturally, is all. But it would have been shortened, so did Wes. I'm seeing a male in spirit. It's not as far away as your great-grandfather, okay? So we'll put you on a bit of a mission there. One time I told Krista about, we'd sort of finished the reading and it's a private reading. We had a bit of time left, so I thought I'll just have a look, see what else is there. And we didn't really have anything else to look at. And I saw her coming across some big pipes at a park and these kids having a party, and that happened to her, I think, the following Sunday. So just moments in time. So random things, and that would probably happen with someone I've read a fair bit, more than anyone else, to go on a bit of a investigation for Wes. Okay. I feel that, look, he wasn't that old. He was maybe 50s, 60s. It's around there. Look, check with your partner, Krista, as well. Not to say that your mum's grandfather isn't there as well. But look, I do see 2 story. I think you'll make it. Free will and choice. You could well do 1 story. Okay, so, but maybe you're stretching it a bit to look at the 2nd story, but I do see that. So I see a lot of good things for you, Krista. Yeah, you'll look into it for me, all right? Come back on comments or, next week or what have you. We'll piece it together. I just want to see quickly and then I'll move on. Definitely see good things. I keep seeing Bianca. Look, I'll say it in public. I keep seeing her in a wedding dress. All right, I just keep saying it. When I saw that you'd shared earlier today, I saw that. So, hi, B, when you watch it later. All right, so I just want to see what else Wes would have to say. He's talking about an overseas connection. Okay, I'm seeing him with an accent. Let's see where that lands for you. Okay, Krista. All right, did you have more people? No? All right, so it's on here. I think hubby's tuned out. He's got his headphones on. Yeah, so, oh gosh. So thank you so much, Krista. I'm just sort of doing quick ones. But look, lots of information there for you. And look, it's hard work, but I'm seeing you and your husband making it through. Remember that it's not what we take with us, but I do see 2 stories. There's a potential for another child in there, so it's you thinking about all those things. Just keep an eye on your energy levels and get your irons checked and all that stuff at the doctor, honey. All right, so thank you so much, Krista. Lots of good things in there for you. And let's have a look here. Well, I would say to you lastly, Krista, just I'm not sure if you've been getting going to get a new steering wheel cover. I see that. Okay, it might be a bit like the pipes and the party, okay, that you validated for that next Sunday. It could be random and you just end up, your husband brings home a steering wheel cover. I'm not sure. Yeah, so KP Makeup Artistry is Krista's. She's on the Central Coast. I've seen her do some weddings up at the Nora Head Lighthouse and all sorts of places. Well recommended for your makeup needs for special events. So we've got a few people. We've got Lynn as well. So thank you so much, Krista. Let us know any validations there that you can think of later or that come about. I think you've had a little bit of the future there. Like I said, the future's magnetised. It's not completely set. All right, have we still got Lee Marlin or Marin? Sorry, my husband's handwriting. I've got a few questions here. We've got plenty of time left, so tell me if you're still here, Lee. She's got a question, will my ex go to jail? Okay, so that's very interesting. One, didn't think I'd do this, but I'm going to pull out some playing cards for your question. This is a bit more like Google. All right, hi Lee. I haven't done this on a live or a stage show. Several years ago I used to use them in stage shows. I use them usually in a private, but I'm not doing that anymore. The privates, I want everything out in the public. Hi Marie. Okay, Marie's reminded me. I want a different bit of paper, see Marie, so good job. Marie's very intuitive, got a lot of intuition. You see things. And all right, so let's look at you, Lee. I'm going to do this as a bit of a Google question, all right? I have a particular combination of about 5,000 combinations that I've invented with playing cards that can answer this question for you, all right? Tells me all sorts of things, playing cards. So I'm just going to ensure when to stop. Will your ex go to jail, Lee? We'll see how much magnetised it is. Look, I have done this question quite a bit. I get to know everyone's secrets. Indeed I do. All right, I'm seeing a compromise to do with that, all right? Definitely you say no to this ex, okay? He has got the 8 of spades in here, unfortunately on the 7th card. So there is a phone call to you from jail, but whether that is just overnight or him, you know, I don't know if he called you when he was in jail. He obviously got arrested, if there's a question of him going to jail. Okay, so did he ever call you from jail? If he hasn't, it's coming, okay, because there's an outright phone call from jail to do with your question. Okay, so that'll validate a little bit for us. There's you saying no to him as well. Okay, so it's like you've shut off your heart to him because you got that on the 4 of hearts, which is that. Look, there's a bit of jealousy. There's a little bit of short trip and journey. I don't think your connection with him is entirely done. So he hasn't, wow. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't know if you want this or not for him, but unfortunately there is something where he calls you or he communicates with you. Look, it could be via online or an email or a letter, but he will talk to you about something he regrets to do with you. So look, I'm not sure what he's going in for. You may not want to tell us, and I'm not seeing that information, so perhaps it's a little private, but I'm seeing that he may be, it's not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing to do with maybe him learning some things, okay? I'm not saying to you that he's full of it when he writes you this letter or calls you, but look, it's your free will and choice, but I ultimately see that you're probably over it. If you would like to release the ties that bind, I have got a meditation, I believe, already up on the spiritualtourist.com.au. I mean, we do everything for free. Releasing the ties. I'm not sure if I've put it into the permanent format yet. Oh gosh, we've got a little reading going on in there. I'll ignore it for now, but that's wonderful. Keep going. I always encourage everyone to have a look, because we've got the fellow from Ireland asking if Eddie means anything, and then Lynn's answered a friend Eddie, young man. All right, keep going on the side there. Bit of a side read. I wasn't going to do this, but I will tell you, and you'd love this group, Paul. I've got a little room that's just a private room, okay? If you would like that, you can't inbox me anymore on this page. If you would like that, I will put it up just this one last time. It's going to be a referral type thing, but I will put the link for the private group. Okay, look, I don't know if I can copy the link. I might have to just do it on my page, but look out for that, Paul, and anyone else who wants to join. It's for those who want to participate. If you want readings and stuff, you can just come through on this format. So unfortunately, he's got the 7 of Spades there for your ex, Lee. I believe the answer is yes, he will do some time. That would already be magnetised, okay? It's not always set. I've seen people get out of it, and that's a particular spread and so on. I'm saying for you, perhaps you decide not to move, okay? Did you live with this ex, or are you still got something to do with the place that was to do with him? Because I'm seeing that you've got some loved ones who've passed as well. A lot of older males coming through tonight, but you've got an older male there who's passed. If you can let us know who the older male is. He looks quite old. He looks like he's probably in his 80s at least. Okay, a lot of white hair. Okay, you've been separated for a long time. Are you still married, or is there any legal tie with him to do with ownership or anything like that, Lee? Because I'm still seeing a bit more to go. And I don't know what that's about. It's not anything to worry about. It's not like you in physical harm or anything like that. Just give us some feedback on that. What's the time, honey?
47.
Alright. Alright, let's have a look here. Alright, while you're getting back to us a little bit, Lee.
She said grandfather Albert.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he was old. He's around you, giving you a lot of love. He's giving you a lot of protection. So have you, I would ask you, I'm seeing a moment, look, I would assume you're aware of it, where he's actually protected you in spirit from something physical or an intuition and stuff like that. Hi, Donna. I'm not going to get to everyone tonight. Okay, so he has a different view. All right. That tie's still there, and that's why... Okay, so Lee's validating for us that the ex is still obviously interested and she's not, because I'm seeing you saying no, and I'm saying that... Look, I'll get onto that meditation sooner than later. Look up anything to do with the meditation, to do with releasing ties or energy cords. Okay, see what you're drawn to. That's going to help you a bit, but when that happens, it can get a little bit, they call you more, okay, because you've broken the tie, or he has moved on. Oh, good. Is there another ex or someone else like that? I'm not wanting you to worry, Lee, but just about the letting go stuff, okay? Okay, so if you find an ex comes up and you're saying no, so look, I'm not sure what you want for your ex in regard to the jail question, but unfortunately I do see that. Not what I wanted to tell you. Not what I wanted to tell anyone about that. But I feel that he will communicate with you. Okay, so see how you go. All right, Lee, let us know how you go. Look, like I said, I've disabled the inbox, but you can always come back to the video. I never delete them. And you can give us a bit more validation. And I'll see that pop up in my notifications and get to that within about a day usually, okay? Depends if I'm working as well. So if it's a couple of days, look, I will get you, but maybe ping me again or tag me. All right, so I want to look at you, Marie. Thank you so much, Lee. And you can come back on each week. You can get reread. Karen Hatting. I wrote to you on that last live, Karen. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to get to you tonight, Karen, but there's an interesting thing on that, perhaps for you. So let's have a look here. We've got, okay, so Marie. All right, Marie. Now, Marie was on last week, but very interrupted because we had a very keen family from the other side that were just determined to talk a lot. You're welcome, Lee. And that was lovely. That was a lovely reading, but I want to give Marie a bit more of a turn this time, okay? Marie last week, I know, some logical, which is, and I may not remember this forever, like I said, but I usually remember it week to week. You asked about your dad, and your mum came through, and then it was actually how your mum came through was through an uncle, and you validated since that uncle passed before you were born. So that's really interesting. Look, I'm seeing a house, Marie. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to assume what this house is. I'm seeing red on the floor. Okay, so it's part of the decor. It's part of the decor. It's part of the decor there. Validate the red floor for us. Look, this could be to do with your parents. I don't know that it's carpet. I'm not sure that it's carpet. Okay, Marie. I'm just going to make a couple of notes here for you. So the red floor. It looks to me like it's either a sunroom or... you love red. Maybe you're going to paint a floor. It looks more like a sunroom. Like it's attached to your home, but it's a little bit separate. It could have windows or screens around it. Or if you thought about an outside area where you are, you know, like I said at the beginning, I don't come in all knowing. I don't know logically if you own or not. But I'm seeing that to do with you. It's an outside backyard area, but it's enclosed and still attached to the house. And it looks to me like the floor's a bit red. Okay. It's like a paint or it's like a concrete paint. It's not quite your usual floor. Okay. It's not wood, it's its own. It could be tile, larger tiles I tend to see with a bit of tunnel vision. I'm seeing wood to do with that as well, but more to do with the side of it. So like, okay, do you have any red to do with the outside bit? Do you have a balcony? Because Marie's saying she's in a unit. Just think about the red, okay, even if it's red brick. Outside the place but attached, okay? Could be a communal area. I'm not sure what this is, but I keep seeing it. Think about your family as well, okay? So, all right. So it's not to do with you now, all right? So we've ruled that out because I don't logically know where this is, but I feel this around your parents, okay? So just think about that. Look, it's going to be somewhere. It's wood on the handrail, okay, and the handrail looks newer than the floor. Think about that. I'm seeing a male to the side of you, Marie, who's actually passed, so that would be well before their time. They'd be around your age, okay, so think about who that is. I keep picking up on an R initial. It's a male. Where would you place an R initial? Okay, so you lived in many places. Have a think, because they're showing me that. It's a significant sort of thing. It can quite often pop up later for you. But I want to talk about the R initial. Okay, it's a male's name. Where do you place that? Someone who's passed or someone here? I think I'm hearing a Robert or a Roger. It's a R-O. I think it's a Robert. I've thrown in more names lately, and look, it's paying off. It's working out. but I am new to the names. So we've got here, so the R initial, at least an R initial. So Brookvale was their last home. Was it a freestanding home? Brookvale, from memory, near Manly, Sydney, Australia, has got quite a few freestanding homes. I see there's questions coming up. Look, I won't be taking more questions, so come back next week. Still keep watching though, please. But we're going to close up in about 10 minutes. It's Chris DeWitt from last week. Hi, Chris. So we're just waiting for Marie to come back, and I tend to sort of just... Okay, so yes, it was a freestanding home. So was there something to do with the red floor at the back of that house? It's odd thing sometimes. It's everyday stuff, I guess. Think about the R initial as well, Marie. I'm going to read probably one more, I think. What's the time?
55.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm going to keep going with you, Marie. You might get lots of little mini readings, Marie. It's just the lag. It's like, what? There's no R. Okay, so we did figure out Ben for your reading last week, which was in the DeWitt families. And I think that was very important, actually, because it was someone very important to the man they'd asked. Redstone Steps. Yes, Marie. Yes, Marie. So just explaining Ben. Look, I think it happens. Didn't mean to interrupt yours, Marie. But I'm very glad that he came through for the DeWitts. Very, very happy about that. That just really made my day. So the Redstone Steps. So that's a huge validation for your parents wanting to say hello this evening. Okay, these are only quick mini readings, but I just really wanted to pull that validation for you. Come on, validate this for me. Something so unusual that I couldn't have known or guessed, and just to show you that the afterlife's real. So your dad's name was Roy. Okay, I did say I may come back to you, Denise, so this is perfect timing. So you're actually our last person. But Marie, like I said, come back next week. I'll do my best to get to everybody. Please come back when you, even if you've been read or not. Tell your friends, share away, especially when it's live. And the more people that come on, the more I'll keep doing it. So the Redstone Steps, that's just too beautiful. That's too beautiful, Marie. So they're with you. They hear us, they hear you, Marie, and our loved ones do know when we talk to them. You're welcome, sweetie. They do know when we talk to them, but they're not there in every single moment. They can't just read our mind, but they know when we look at their picture. They know when we look at their stuff. I've had so many validations. I've done over 50,000 readings in this, and it just blows me away. You'll hear me laugh a bit, but it's out of joy. It's not... I get emotional too quite often, especially when it's a younger one or something like that. But it blows me away that we go somewhere. I've got no more fear. I get in the car more often than not, even though I'm terrified of being in the car. Sorry I didn't get to you, Paul. I meant to look at you tonight. Nice to meet you as well. Anyone who's reading, we're going to go and finish with Denise at the end in a minute, but I saw you having a go and there was a few no's. Look, sometimes it's difficult, especially over type, to find the validators. I would say to the lady that was claiming the information at the beginning, just keep an open mind. It might be in there somewhere. There might be someone else who didn't want to interrupt. There can be so many different reasons why you get the no's, and quite often it ends up not a no, okay? But like I said, I will mention the private group. Russell, your cousin. Wow. I'm still going to go back to you, Denise, because you have had your father pass. But that's who it is. Good, Marie. I'm like, you better not interrupt, Marie. And then I'm like, it's happened again. It's just to the other side. Not to you guys. You guys are fine. But the other side's the ones that are happening. Yes, he would have been your age because he was similar age, yes. And look, from what I've seen, they're either showing us what they would have been or they keep going on the other side. Don't have any answers to that one. But I've seen, like, a 17-year-old pass and then he's 27 and the mother will validate, yes, he would have been 27 and, all that stuff. It's blows me away. Wow. So Russell, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, go with the initial. If it's a shorter name, it's fine, like a Karen or a Glenn or a Ben or something like that, but I'll get better at that. But anyway, that you had an R initial, okay? And that was Russell, and then there was an RO. So I would say that they've overlapped, okay, and I did forget logically that we'd go back to Denise, and we got led back to you, Denise, so that's lovely. I try to keep as best a track as I can, but I'm trying to read comments tonight as well and sort of get used to doing that. Okay, so someone's talking about Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Wanting a reading and doesn't have the money. Look, I don't do private readings. I don't do anything for money. I used to, but I have a normal job now. So it's something that is a long story why I did that, but I want everything out in the public. I am going to be posting up some other readers that I recommend after this by tomorrow, and you can certainly book in with them. I've had readings with them and they're lovely. Very accurate, and you know, aren't yes readers either. They'll tell you what's there, not necessarily what you want to hear. So your father's passed, Denise, and that's Roy, so the R-O as well. So that validates for you in regard to your father. And you were saying that I didn't read you at the show, so I don't think he's come through. Not sure if I read you at another live, Denise, long time ago. I can't remember now. Yeah, there's a few from that area, so I don't know. But look, ultimately, he's with you in spirit as well. So we read for quite a few tonight, or I read for quite a few tonight. I always say we because it's me on the other side. And look, I will be doing this every week, Leslie. It's all going to be in public, what I do now. I've done over 50,000 readings and it's fabulous. Okay, so I haven't read for you at all. I think you've been a lovely commenter. You're very interactive, so that's okay. All right, so I haven't read for you. For your dad to come through as well there, your father. Wonderful, Denise. So I've done over 50,000 readings and look, it's lovely and it's great to pay the rent and charge, you know, for your time and all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to be out there. I'm just so astonished at this that I want it all in the public. Okay, and I want to do this online every week at 7 p.m. So look, I will be finishing the session now. I do it for about an hour. Like I said, I have the normal life as well. You can find a lot of stuff at thespiritualtourist.com.au. That links to our YouTube. We do little videos. Sometimes I cut up the readings in this if I have time as well. And I tell you any edit I do, what I've done to it and so on. You're welcome, Denise. Good luck with the move at some point upcoming. Just keep at it. And I think we've read for about 8 or 9 tonight. So I'll get to that many. Look, what I'd say to you is come on at the very beginning at 7. I come about 2 past, between 2 and 5 past 7. You can come on from anywhere in the world and ask a question, but it will need to be live. And I'd love you to share. Okay, so tell everyone about it. You can find some videos of readings I've already edited. Some are like as little as a minute long and some are, I think, one's 12 minutes long. And they're there as well on the Philippa-Lee, the Spiritual Tourist page, which is this page. Okay, so Leanne, yes, I had you there, but look, I do my best. I do my best to get to you all. But come back next week, Leanne, and yeah, look, everyone come at the beginning. Look, I tend to ask in order. I didn't get to the 2 Karens tonight and a couple of other bits. I think there's about 15 of you that I've missed out on this evening, but hope to see you next week. Look, I like to see sort of a theme or I think hubby's, like I said, tuned out. He's about this all the time. Thank you for your help, husband. Boogs. He's nodding, taking his headphone out. There's usually a theme. My husband's always been not always, but the last few years been the MC for my in-person shows I used to do. And we always sort of would discuss a theme, but I'll come up with it on my own tonight. So it's been really looking at the future for people, and the loved ones are going to sneak in anyway. So I'm not sure what time that is in Ireland, Paul. It's 7 p.m. AEDT, Sydney, Australia time, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'm going to target a bit of promotion in UK and Ireland, but not yet, in a couple of months once I've got a few more lives under my belt. I'm a bit smoother than the rest of it. So at that point I'll be figuring out what times it is for people, but I'll leave that to you in Google. For now, do come back. I'll be putting up that private group as well. Thank you, Paul. I've enjoyed. Thank you for everyone watching and who had a reading. And 9 a.m. Not too bad, Paul. up early on a Sunday. My father had a theatre restaurant called Bamrutty Castle in Sydney in the 1970s. So, like I said, come back next week. I'll stop reading the comments. Look, I will come back and acknowledge and things like that, but I won't be reading on the comments. And I will definitely talk about Ireland with you, Paul. But I'll be putting on, like I was saying, the private group. It will probably have to be a different post above this video, okay? But I'll share that for you, Paul. Look out for that and join up. Oh, you went there. Nice, Marie. So I'm glad you all meet each other as well. That's one of the purposes of that, of doing these sorts of things. I used to bartend at one point in New York and LA and London. I've also been in business and corporate for a long time. But in my travels in my 30s, I did that for a couple of years. And I love people meeting each other. You know, it's like, hey, you're sitting over there on your own and you're sitting over there on your own, and so-and-so meets so-and-so. You've got a lot in common. And everyone who's coming to these has a lot in common. I have various things that I do each day to check the main page, which is this page, because we do get the odd hater, but they'll be gone pretty quick. Okay, so you can feel free on my pages to feel protected and safe to talk about this subject matter and meet each other, at each other. So thank you so much for coming. I hate to leave, but we'll see you next week. Take care and much love to you.